This is Retirement Keys with Anthony Congemi from Crescent City Retirement Group. When a part of your financial strategy is out of tune, your long-term goals, your retirement savings, and your legacy can all suffer. With many years of experience in the financial industry, Anthony provides his clients and prospects with the information they need regarding Social Security, retirement income planning, wealth management, and much more. Listen in as we address your financial concerns and provide helpful solutions to put you on the path to achieving your retirement goals. And now, here is Retirement Keys with your host, Anthony Congemi.
Hello, and welcome back to another show of Retiring Well. My name's Anthony Congemi with Crescent City Retirement Group. I've got our fabulous co-host with us, as we do every week, Tony Shore, and we're really looking forward to a great show today. Tony, thank you so much for joining us, and how have you been?
Oh, I've been great, and I know we talk about retirement keys and financial planning and retiring well on the show, and it's a good one today. I know you've got a great topic picked up, but I've been great, Anthony. I've had a good week, and trying to enjoy what's left of fall, and as we head into the winter season and the holiday season. It's been crazy out there, though, but like you said, we were talking before the show, got to stay focused, and my family and I are doing well. How about you, Anthony? How are you doing?
Doing well, Tony. We are in unsettling times with our with the pandemic and the election and all the things that are going on in our that we see in the media, and so certainly it's times to take in and do our best to make good choices. We want to take our time and make sure that we take advantage, especially tax planning and things like that going into the end of the year here, Tony. All things that, we can do something about. And that's the key. So many times we focus on the things that we really can't do anything about, and then we neglect a lot of the things that we really can do something about.
Yeah.
And that's really what our show is hopefully getting across to our listeners on a weekly basis, is all of the things that we can do something about as it relates to our finances, our estate planning, our tax strategy, our investment strategy, all the things that we really can make a difference in doing. And so anyway, thank you so much, Tony, for being part of the show. You're really such a wealth of knowledge and information, and just a terrific part of our show.
Oh, well, thanks for saying that, Anthony. That's nice. And really, you're the wealth of knowledge on the show, and no pun intended with wealth, because that's what you talk about each week, and you bring so many great tips and strategies for us. And, I know that we're talking about, with everything going on, and, it's the time of year we normally get together with family, but, the CDC is saying, hey, you got to watch it and be careful because of COVID. I think like a lot of other folks, I'm trying to balance optimism and realism. And, some news sources tell us coronavirus vaccine now maybe is available as soon as early 2021. And the markets went up because it looks like one of the major pharmaceutical companies' tests have been done really well, like 90% prevention rate with their vaccine. And hopefully we'll have access to that soon here in a couple of months. And I think that's something to feel excited about. Yet, like you noted, it's going to be challenging, and we have to take care of our own health and protect our families, friends, and coworkers. And I think that's what we're going to talk about today, right?
Absolutely, Tony. We're going to be talking about things that we can do something about, and looking forward to 2021, because there really are things that we can do to prepare ourselves and prepare our families. And so today we're going to be discussing legacy planning, and I think it's just a great topic, Tony, to dig into. What are your thoughts about legacy planning, Tony? Or tell me what you know about it.
Well, yeah, and I mean, legacy planning is similar to estate planning, where you have to have your things in order, and I think this is something that people put off. And but again, you don't want to leave your families in a bad situation. So to have a plan in place in case something happens to you or something happens to your spouse, that your loved ones are taken care of. And that's what legacy planning is all about. There's a lot of different aspects to it, and I know that's what you're going to talk about today on the show.
You know, Tony, I think balancing optimism and realism is really a good philosophy in most things, including our personal finances. And though the upcoming holidays may be more challenging than many of us have previously experienced. With little planning, they can still be warm and memorable. The idea of balancing optimism and reality is a great segue into our topic today, which is building a legacy plan during the pandemic. I choose today's topic, Tony, after coming across a really insightful Forbes article titled 10 Financial and Estate Planning Matters to Think About During the Crisis. And I think it would really have some critical information for our listeners today, Tony.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be a great topic. I mean, obviously, legacy planning is one of those things that people know we need. We know we need it, but it often gets put off. And again, because I think people think they can just get it done tomorrow. But what if tomorrow never comes? We don't like to think about that, but that's what we have to plan for.
Well, that's exactly right, Tony. Dying without a legacy plan means the people you love will not only be left scrambling to manage your affairs, they may also be left without the financial means to continue enjoying the quality of life that you've worked so hard for to provide for them. So it's so important to have a legacy plan. And I tell you, Tony, there's a lot of peace of mind that comes along with it as well, because once you've got it all in place and you've got all your ducks in a row, so to speak, you can enjoy your life. It's just one less thing that you have to concern yourself with. You know that if God forbid, if something happens and you pass on and move on to a big, beautiful heaven in the sky, that you're leaving your family behind well taken care of. And I think that knowing that and realizing that that's been taken care of not only is, practically the thing to do, but also, emotionally and psychologically, it can be a real weight lifted off of you.
Right. Exactly. And I think that's really important. It's a great way to put it. I mean, the whole reason we get up and go to work every day is to take care of the people who mean the most to us. And a robust and comprehensive legacy plan means you're taking care of them even after you're gone. So what's the first suggestion that you have?
Well, the first tip, Tony, is taking care of both your durable and healthcare power of attorney. If you haven't heard that first term before, durable power of attorney, it empowers someone to make financial decisions on your behalf should you become incapacitated or otherwise unable to make those decisions on your own. There are two types of durable power of attorneys: a general durable power of attorney, which is if you're permanently in place, and a springing power of attorney, which only turns on if you become disabled. So in one aspect, in the durable power of attorney, which is permanent, it's good regardless, and the spring for the power of attorney to make decisions on your behalf. But the springing power of attorney only becomes activated, if you will, if the person becomes disabled. So there's different types of power of attorneys, of course, and the one that might be right for you, we just have to look at the different options and see which one is the best choice. But it's definitely something that's so very important, because if you find yourself in a situation, whether it be a financial situation or a medical situation, where you're not able to act in your own stead, and you need your spouse or one of your children or whoever is the closest to you that would be helping make decisions for you financially or healthcare, if they don't have a power of attorney on you, their hands are tied, and it can really become a very challenging thing. But this one simple document can really help them help you if and when that situation were to arise.
Right, and that's the key right there. And obviously, the peace of mind we get from having it taken care of is good. So, what type of decisions does the person you designate make with the durable power of attorney?
Well, that's a great question, Tony. A durable power of attorney allows your designee to make numerous financial decisions on your behalf. For example, they can reach out to your insurance companies. They can file your tax returns. They can pay your bills. Additionally, a healthcare power of attorney means your designee, as the name implies, will make your healthcare decisions when you can't. That means that person may hire or fire doctors, sign releases, and determine the best course of treatment for you. So it really just empowers them, Tony, to act for you if you're not able. And that's so important that they have that ability, because if they don't have the ability to do it, even though that's what you expect, let's say it's a wife or a spouse or a husband or a child or, whoever it might be that's going to be acting, or a close friend that's going to be acting as your power of attorney, helping make decisions for you. If they don't have that piece of paper that gives them that authorization, their hands are tied. So it's really critical.
Yeah, I think that is critical. And that's a great rundown. I mean, it's clear that we all need to make absolutely certain that both of our durable and healthcare powers of attorney are all squared away, and that our designee knows where to find those documents.
Absolutely, Tony. If your parents are living, I'd also encourage you to check in with them about their power of attorney to make sure they're appropriately updated and accessible. Also, if you have adult children, you may want to have the same conversation with them, because medical providers can't release any medical information, even to parents.
Yeah.
So it's really important to have that taken care of.
Yeah. And this has been a great show so far, but we should take a quick break here. Anthony, do you have anything for us before we take the break?
Well, I just want to thank you all for tuning in and listening every week to Retiring Well. We really strive to be the best advocate that we can be for our clients and the community at large. And so we hope you get value from this show each and every week. And by all means, let us know. Take advantage of the offers that we have. If you don't have an end-of-the-year tax plan and you don't have a formal retirement plan, this is really a great time to do it and to start looking at it. So please take advantage of this offer.
You've been listening to our shows and advice on getting your finances in order and creating a retirement income plan that will last. Now is the time to take advantage of our special offer. This is Anthony Congemi of Crescent City Retirement Group, and we're now offering a complimentary gourmet dinner and retirement planning workshop, The 5 Keys to a Stress-Free Retirement. This is one workshop you won't want to miss. Call in the next 20 minutes for this no-cost offer. Seating is limited. Call Crescent City Retirement Group within the next 20 minutes at 504-828-2171. That number again is 504-828-2171.
And welcome back to Retirement Keys with our host, Anthony Congemi. And I think it's been a great show today. We're talking about how to retire well, and a big part of that is legacy planning. During the show today, Anthony, you've been talking about the importance of building or updating the legacy plan, especially considering the current pandemic. Before we went to that break, you talked about durable powers of attorney, and I know we have a lot of other info to get to during this segment. And, putting together a legacy plan when we're healthy and happy, it takes, it'll take one more stressful financial decision off your plate so that you can focus on more pleasant things. So what's the next thing you have for us, Anthony?
Well, the next piece of legacy planning advice from the Forbes article that we mentioned earlier, 10 financial and estate planning matters to think about during this crisis, is solidifying your health insurance. Start by putting together a complete list of all your health insurance policies and make sure that somebody you know and trust knows how to find them. Along those same lines, if one or both of your parents are alive, make sure that you have a copy of their policies should you need to quickly make decisions or answer questions on their behalf. If you have adult children, you may also want to have copies of their policies in the event that they aren't able to answer questions on their own, even if only temporary. So health insurance, Tony, long-term care policies, disability policies, indemnity policies, all of these different insurance policies need to be readily available for our powers of attorney, our kids, our parents, the people that we're dealing with that we're going to have to make decisions for, or the folks that are going to have to make decisions for us in the future. They need this available.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously that's critical, and I think making things as easy as possible for the people who may have to make decisions for us is probably one of the smartest financial and legacy planning decisions we could make. I mean, situations like those you're talking about are already going to be stressful enough without having to dig through drawers or computer files to find the critical documents.
Absolutely. Another key component of legacy planning is your health savings account, HSA accounts, or what are commonly referred to as the HSA. Make sure your family members know about your HSA accounts and how to access them. On your end, make sure that all your paperwork is in order and completely up to date. And, you know, Tony, I know we're talking about a lot of different things, but in our legacy planning portion of our retirement plan, we really itemize each of these documents, and we make sure that all of these documents and all of these deck pages on these policies and the HSA accounts and the powers of attorney and the living will and the last will and testament and the life insurance policies and all the things that go along with estate and legacy planning are very organized in our retirement planning binder. As you know, in our retirement plans, we think there's 5 really key elements to any retirement plan. Estate and legacy planning obviously is very important. Healthcare planning and investment strategy, income planning, and taxes are really the 5 keys to a stress-free retirement. But this estate and legacy piece is really just can't be overstated.
Right. It can't be overstated, but yet I think a lot of our listeners might feel a little overwhelmed by our conversation about this today because we're talking about this big stack of documents. But the reality is, if you take care of the elements of your legacy plan early and then focus on quick updates as you need, you take all that pressure off yourself and the people who may need to be eventually in charge of making decisions on your behalf, and you don't have to go it alone. Like you say, that's why you need to work with a financial professional who can be trusted, who goes over the key keys to a successful, really financial plan, retirement plan, and legacy plan. And I know that's something you provide. So I think you really need to focus on that. That's critical, right?
Absolutely, Tony. Like I say, I mean, it's very practical. It certainly will ensure that your loved ones are taken care of and have everything that they need in the event you become incapacitated or pass away. They have everything that they need there. So that's a very loving thing to make sure that that's all in place. And it's also, I think, as I mentioned earlier, it's a psychological and emotional angst that can be lifted off of you, knowing that you've got all your ducks in a row and you've taken care of it. Yeah. Now the article went on too, Tony, to say that another critical component to legacy and estate planning is keeping track of even safety deposit boxes. If you have one with this, the most important thing is making sure you legally list someone you trust with the bank or the company you have the box with. And by doing so, you ensure that they'll have access to the box after you pass away or become incapacitated. And along those same lines, if you keep a safe or a fireproof box locked up in your home. You're going to want to make sure that someone you trust knows where it is and what the combination is. So again, Tony, all in your legacy planning binder that has the information about, where things are. And I'll tell you, just in my own family, I had, an uncle pass away. I had a father pass away, and then I had a great aunt who passed away, all with whom I loved very dearly. And I can just tell you, some of the three really had an organized estate and legacy plan, and some didn't. And just in my own family, and I saw kind of the mess that can be left behind, and the struggles that the family has to go through when things aren't done, orderly. And in fairness to most people, I think that, a lot of people just either don't think about it, or they really don't know where to start, or, what they should have, what should be included. I mean, that's not what they're talking about every day, or, very much interested in per se, so it's not on the top of everyone's mind, of course, but it certainly can go a long way in just helping our families to be able to help us and not create a real struggle and a problem that's very hard to untangle in a lot of cases.
Well, yeah, it can be. And that's why you work with a professional like yourself. And I think, you don't want your loved ones you leave behind, you don't want them to have to try to become safecrackers or figure all this out, especially when dealing with a loss. So you want to make sure that they can access things. And I think that that's really, really important. Now, we should take another quick break here. Is there anything you want to add before the break?
I just want to thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate you tuning in today, and want to mention that, in a retirement planning that we provide here at Crescent City Retirement Group, we focus very heavily on the 5 keys to a stress-free retirement. I'd love to send you a copy of our book that we've had published. It's on Amazon, but I'd love to send you a free copy. The name of the book is Retiring Well. And it really focuses on those 5 key elements that we've been discussing. Estate and legacy planning is the number one topic. But then, of course, healthcare, investments, income, and taxes. So if you'd like a copy of the book, by all means, give our office a call at 504-828-2171. Again, that's 504-828-2171. Or just go online at crescentcityretirement.com, and you can ask for a copy of the book there.
Well, Anthony, I think we have time for one more point in the show today. What else do you have for us on this topic?
Well, Tony, I would like to talk just a minute about Roth IRAs, and specifically urge people to weigh the value of Roth savings options while the market is still been sluggish and been very volatile. You can fund a Roth IRA at any point this year. In addition to funding your own Roth and your spouse's, you may also want to consider a Roth for your children with earned income, and a Roth conversion for parents if they're in a lower tax bracket. I mean, admittedly, Roth IRAs can be a little tricky, at least on the onset. So let's take this prime opportunity to urge you to work with a financial services professional. A financial services professional is going to have the kind of Roth IRA experience that helps you weigh all the pros and cons before making a decision. But doing Roth conversions, Tony, especially, depending on your tax bracket, and kind of a key term is filling up the bracket. If you're in a lower tax bracket, if you're retired, or if you still have room within that tax bracket, you may be able to contribute to a Roth or do Roth conversions up to that tax marginal tax bracket that you're in, and really look at some tax planning and carving out those tax-free buckets of money, because we know in the future, Tony, more than likely we will see tax rates go up. And so taking advantage of these lower tax rates now can really prove to save us, considerable amount of money in the future.
Yeah.
So I would just urge you, if you have, heard about Roths or talked about Roth conversions or know anything about Roths, to let us talk to you about that. Send you some information on Roth conversions, because it could really save you in the long run.
Well, I think that's great. And why don't you let our listeners know one more time before we go how they can set up that complimentary consultation?
Well, just go online at Crescent City Retirement Group, order the book, let us know you'd like to meet. We'd love to see you. I do have a special offer I'd like to make. So I would just encourage you, if you don't have a formal retirement plan that covers the estate planning and legacy planning, a health care strategy, an investment strategy, an income plan, and a tax strategy, by all means, take advantage of this offer.
You've been listening to our shows and advice on getting your finances in order and creating a retirement income plan that will last. Now is the time to take advantage of our special offer. This is Anthony Congemi with Crescent City Retirement Group, and we're now offering our 3-step retirement planning process at no cost and a $100 gift card to the restaurant of your choice upon completion of the planning process. Call Crescent City Retirement Group within the next 20 minutes at 504-828-2171. That number again is 504-828-2171.
Thank you for listening to Retirement Keys. Don't pay too much for taxes or retire without a sound income plan. For more information, please contact Anthony Congemi at Crescent City Retirement Group. Call 504-828-2171 or visit the website at crescentcityretirement.com. All matters discussed during this show are for informational purposes only. Each individual situation may vary, and the opinions expressed here may not apply to everyone. Materials presented are believed to be from reliable sources, and no representations can be made as to its accuracy. All ideas and information should be discussed in detail with one of our qualified representatives prior to implementation. Anthony Congemi and Crescent City Retirement Group are not affiliated with or endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency.